Welcome from my side to our first participants. Welcome to our super interesting webinar on the topic, which is called International Law and Energy Law in Germany. And the webinar is quite interesting today because we have great guests from three really interesting programs in Germany. And I will very quickly introduce them very soon. But before that, let me tell you something also about some technical details. So those who have joined us already on Zoom, you have an opportunity to post your questions throughout the whole webinar in the Q&A. So you can see the Q&A button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface, and there you are it's always open, and you can send your questions whenever you like. And you cannot use the chat. However, I would like to suggest you to follow the chat because it will be me or maybe also participants. Our guests will be sharing with you some interesting information like links or contact information in the chat. So I would suggest you to keep an eye on the chat throughout the whole webinar. And so for those who are joining us on Facebook, unfortunately, you cannot put your questions in the Q&A. Definitely, I will try to control the comments at the same time on Facebook, but I would suggest if you have an opportunity to join us on Zoom, it will be better for you for the flow to follow us. So the Zoom ID is also posted on Facebook. Okay, so before we jump into our presentation, let me quickly show you tell you some things about MyGermanUniversity, and then I will introduce to you our agenda for today. Let me share with you my screen. So you should see my screen. As I said, the topic is studying international law and energy law in Germany. So quickly, really briefly about MyGermanUniversity. So we are largest database, Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. So if you go to mygermanuniversity.com, you will see that we have over 2,300 study programs, including post-bachelor and master level. And at the same time, we have recently added short courses and language courses as well. There are three ways in which we help international students like you to come and study in Germany. So one of the ways is through our study finder. As I said, there you can find the largest database of English taught study programs. We have lots of filters there that you can use and find the best fitting program for you. The second way of helping you is through writing up articles. So if you go to our website, you will see that we have over 70 really comprehensive articles on various topics, ranging from online studies or rankings to the UniAssist. You can find lots of topics, and on the left-hand side, you can see that we have kind of navigator, and you can easily find the articles on the topics that you are interested in. The third way of helping you is through our webinars. So we have approximately 150 webinars per year, and the topics really vary. We have this kind of subject webinars like we have today. So on specific subject where we have special guests from German universities, or we have also some general webinars like scholarships on UniAssist, on visa, and more. So you can find all the webinars already which are planned, and you can sign up for them by going to mygermanuniversity.com and to the section of webinars. And last but not least, so we are based in Hamburg, but our team is really international. So we are based in different cities of Germany, but not also outside of Germany. We have people who are based in Spain, in China, in Brazil, etc. And we also counsel in various languages, ranging from English even to Georgian. So this is our team. And now let me introduce the agenda for today. So you can see we have special guests, as I said, from three German universities. The first one is from Saarland University, Europa Institute, and we have two guests, Ms. Ingrid Sigstad and Ms. Jennifer Wassenberg, and they will talk about European and international law. Then we have Professor Dr. Stefan Zeranski from Ostfalia University of Applied Sciences, who will talk about sustainability and risk management. And we have also guests from Technische Universität of Berlin, Ms. Lilu and Ms. Sandra Lubahn, and they will introduce European and international energy law. All right, long story short, I am the least interesting person, and I know that you want to hear about more important things. So here we go to our first guests from Saarland University. You can see where Saarland is. You are almost in France. You are in Germany and at the same time in France. So let me stop sharing the screen right now and invite our guests to the floor.
Hello and good afternoon, people, or good morning or good day, depending on where you're at. These are the times we live in. My name is Ingrid Lee. With me today, I have Jennifer Wassenberg. I am working as a student coordinator at the University of Saarland in the Europa Institute. And I'll now do a short presentation about our master's program and our institute in general. Let me just see if I can share the screen. Our master's program is officially in European and International Law, and it is an LL.M, so a Master's of Law. Just briefly about the institute and the university. Saarland University is part of a network of European universities. This is a status granted by the European Commission. We got it in 2019. And you see on the map there other universities, which is also part of this network. We're located in Saarland, as already mentioned, on the border of France, but still in Germany. And this is really in the heart of Europe. Very short way to central institutions for our programs, such as the Court of Justice of the European Union in Luxembourg and the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. We're also not so far away from Brussels, Frankfurt, Berlin, Geneva, etc. Our institute consists of 5 pillars. The first one is the master's program, which we're here to talk about today. Then we also do research and publications in European and international law. We also have a number of international projects, which I'll briefly touch upon. We do further education in terms of PhDs and research. And we also have an alumni network, which is currently very active. Some key facts. Founded in 1951, we had our 70 years anniversary last year, and for almost the entirety of these 70 years, we have done this master's in European and international law. This makes us the second oldest institution focusing on European and international law in Europe. We have about 75 students each year, totaling about 5,500 alumni that have gone through our program. And we grant an official 1-year master's in European and international law, meaning that you will get the title LL.M at the end of your studies. We have an alumni network, as I said, 700 members at the moment. We're also a library and documentation center of the EU Commission and do quite a few excursions every year as part of the program. Here are some of our international cooperation partners, meaning countries in which we cooperate with institutions, universities, and have guest lecturers coming in from. A bit more about our international projects. Here you see them. We have a cluster of excellent in European and international law, working with the Western Balkans predominantly. We also work with the DAAD. We have the MELE projects and Eastern Partnership Networking Forum, among other things, through the Federal Foreign Office. All right, so that's it about international corporations. A bit more about the Institute now. Here are our 2 directors, Professor Dr. Mark Bungenberg and Professor Dr. Thomas Gigerich. They both head one of the 2 chairs that we have at the Institute. So Professor Bungenberg at the chair of public law, international law and European law, which is now a Jean chair on dispute settlement and rule of law, and Professor Gigerich at the chair, which is also in international law and public law, which holds the Jean Monnet status of European integration, anti-discrimination, human rights and diversity. So 2 quite different chairs, but both under the Europa Institute umbrella. All right, but we're here for the program, so let's get into that. Some key facts about the program as well. It's a 1-year master program, as already mentioned. We offer quite practice-oriented teaching, meaning that we have teachers coming both from academia and from the work life, the institutions which they lecture on, the fields of law which they teach, coming in and teaching us how things work from a practical perspective. We offer language courses in both English and German, even though the course is held predominantly in English as of now. You can also do classes in German, and therefore language courses are quite useful. In addition to normal classroom teaching, we also do moot courts, simulations, and other kinds of more interactive activities, and I'll get back to that at the end. Through our alumni network, we offer job opportunities, and we also offer career training and networking. A brief breakdown of our program. Our program consists of 6 modules, offering a total of 5 different specializations and 1 basic module that everyone has to go through. To show you, visualize here, the one at the bottom, European integration, is the one that every student has to take. Once they're done with the classes in this module, which gives you a basis in European and international law, you can go on to choose out of these 5 different modules, and you can choose a combination of 2 out of all of them. Module 2, which is now here at the top, is in economic law with a focus on Europe. Then we have module 3, which is in foreign trade and investment. Module 4 in international dispute resolution, 5 in European and international protection of human rights. And then last but not least, module 6 in IT law. Out of these modules, modules 3 and 4 are offered exclusively in English, meaning that all classes in these modules are in English. Module 2 and 5 offer a combination of courses in English and German, meaning you can take courses there both in English and in German. And module 6 is almost exclusively in German. So there is something for everyone, both in terms of content and in terms of language. A different breakdown of our program, more on the structural side of things. So our program consists of 2 phases. The first phase is the coursework. In this part of the course, which runs for 2 semesters, you have to obtain 45 credit points taking your own combination of courses in your own modules, plus 1 seminar. Once you've done this, you go on to the second part, which is the master thesis, which gives you 15 credit points, and you complete over 3 months. When you have done both stage 1 and stage 2, you will be awarded the LL.M degree. As I said, we have lecturers coming from the different fields of law in which they're teaching. This results in us having a huge range of courses and also a huge range of lectures. Here you see an overview of all the lecturers that are currently teaching at the Europa Institute. I mentioned that we have 2 directors. There are, let me see where they are. Here is Professor Bungenberg, and Professor Gigerich is also in here somewhere. There he is. Outside of these ones, all the other lecturers come from outside the university. Some of them teach at other universities and are visiting lecturers, professors here. Others work, for instance, in the European Court of Human Rights. This is Judge Jelic. She teaches the European Court of Human Rights and case law and the basics. We also have one of my personal favorites being Norwegian, Judge Bull here. He is the Supreme Court Justice in the Norwegian Supreme Court. Additionally, we have practitioners such as Professor Stampfe here. Professor Vedder usually teach us at the University of Augsburg. So as you see, they come from different backgrounds and work in different fields of law. That's about the academics. In addition to that, we also offer soft skill trainings in a various array of areas. We have communication training. This is something you start with pretty early on, for instance, in negotiation and advocacy. We also do intercultural training to accommodate for students coming from many different backgrounds. And as I mentioned, we have language courses. We also teach you on how to do research through our seminar and through the preparation for the seminar. And this is, of course, to prepare you for your master thesis and also a potential career in academia, if that's the direction you choose to go. In addition to that, we offer moot courts such as Eurosim and the Vismoot. I'll get back to that again, and case studies, which is a kind of different teaching style. Instead of sitting in a normal lecture, you work in a group. It's more interactive. It's a smaller group where you work closer with the professor. We also prepare you for the job market, doing EPSO training and Blue Book traineeship preparation to prepare you to work in the EU, and additionally courses on preparing you to work in Germany. When you have done this program, you should come out with a great set of skills. Here are some of the ones listed by our alumni. Communication and team working skills. As I said, sometimes they're group work, we do moots, that also prepares you for that. Critical thinking, of course, is part of any master's program in law. Planning and organizing, as I said, loads of different classes to choose from. That also means there's a quite full timetable, which makes you quite good at the time management skills. Same with self-managing, researching, and then at the end, networking through your 75 colleagues in the program and the 700 alumni. Just briefly, before we move on to the next section, we also offer a summer course each year. This year, it's called Visions for a New Europe. It takes place from the 1st to the 10th of August. You see the web page of it here. There's also scholarships available for this one. So if you're interested in seeing how the program works before applying or just like the topic, consider applying, and more information is on the webpage. As I said quite a few times now, we have a huge alumni network. It was founded in 1996 and has 700 members, as already mentioned. Through this alumni network, we work on giving our current students and recent graduates job and internship opportunities. We offer meetups to do this, but we also send out job opportunities that come in through our alumni. Some of the alumni here, this guy is working for the European Commission. And here we have one that works in Paris at the OECD. This guy down here is not an alumni, but he's one of our teachers, Professor Hector. He teaches foreign affairs and is now the German ambassador to Denmark. I mentioned moots and simulations. We participate in Eurosim, which is a consortium of universities in Europe and the US, simulating European lawmaking procedures, alternating between taking place in Europe and in the US. And next year it is in the US, somewhere in New York. Then we also participate in the Vismoot and FDI moot. This is not part of the program, but an opportunity for students that want to stay on and continue doing some academic and simulation work. We also go to Regent's University in London and do a simulation on public international law, and to the US to Saarland University to do a spring school with them. In addition to the simulations, we also do excursions, which are not part of the academic program, but for fun and for networking. We go to Brussels, Luxembourg, and Strasbourg, Berlin and Paris, and sometimes other places too. Okay, I'm running out of time. Short about the application. You find any information you might need on aropainstitute.de/application, and you can also email us at application@aropainstitute.de. We can then schedule a phone call, a Skype call, and we also offer Q&As every month for potential candidates. Finally, follow us on social media. There you'll get the current inside updates. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So that's all for us. Thank you so much. And thank you to MyGermanUniversity, and we hope to see you soon in Saarbrücken.
Great. Thank you very much for informative webinar, presentation and webinar, of course. There are some questions that I collected, but I will not ask them right now. Let's wait for the other presenter also to do their presentation, and then I will address I will ask you to address these questions. Okay, so let me now move to our next presenter. And let me share with you my screen. And all right, so you can also see him, I think, already on the screen. So Professor Dr. Stefan Zeranski from Ostfalia University of Applied Sciences. You can see where it is located, quite north central location. And Professor will talk about the program in sustainability and risk management. So I will stop sharing my screen right now and would invite already immediately Professor to take the floor.
So a very, very warm welcome to everybody, and great to see that this is a wonderful webinar and a wonderful opportunity for all students to discover the variety of knowledge. Know how to do things is really important, and we are currently living in multi-disruptive times. So it's good to see that the academic community has built up a variety of really fantastic programs. So also congratulations to the other study programs you have today on your screen. So I will be happy now to share my screen with you. And if we look at our current program, then I have the honor today to speak to you as the program coordinator for the master program Sustainability and Risk Management, which is an online master, evening classes. You can study besides your job. It's an evening class session. If you are absent, then no problem. Everything is recorded like here. And we lay a strong focus on applied sciences. We offer a holistic master study program. And this is not underscoring, it is reality, because our lecture team comes from the natural sciences, from the social sciences, but also from the legal side and the business side. You can see here we are strongly focused on the 17 UN SDGs, and on the right hand side you can see it's not that easy for the world community to enter a new part of the human story, to enter the green age, the solar age, and to stop engineering with a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. I have prepared here a few information on our research center. Maybe it's of interest to you to see that we are already registered since 2017 at the United Nations Program for Responsible Management Education, and our research topic is sustainability from a broader holistic view, but also on risk issues to help brown companies to transform into a better shape for the world, but also for the customers, and thus contribute a little bit to better chances for human kind to survive on this planet, as we are currently destroying our living grounds. So let me start with a short overview, and to be in time, I would like to invite you, if you have any questions, then please raise your questions at the end of my speech. You will find the internet links, and of course, we are later happy to receive your questions. First of all, an overview, our interdisciplinary view, and then some course details. We offer online lectures. We use the Moodle platform, and some notes on the costs and the requirements and the services. What is our mission? If we look at the challenges we currently have, we could see from this cartoon that COVID-19 is only the first wave we have. It is an environmental related risk, and it's a zoonotic disease. And as we all know, all new diseases 60 up to 70% of the new diseases are zoonotic diseases. We are currently living in a recession which is triggered by an awful war, and behind that we see a huge recession. We see mass inflation on a broader scale, and we will go back to the 1929 and the 1930s. Hyperinflation is on the road, and we have to tackle this sustainability change and challenge also the risks in this global disaster we have to manage, because the politicians, they promise us we will talk about it, but no solution is on the ground, really on the ground, to help our humans to survive, to do things for you and your children. And then the last wave is the biodiversity collapse. So a lot of things to do, a lot of chances. Yes, of course, we have the European Green Deal, but we need people, and these are very good educated students, to transform the whole economy. This is our mission. Let us have a closer look at the World Economic Forum, which gives you a background why risk issues and environmental issues are also economic issues. These are also geopolitical issues, social issues, technological issues. You can see from the green color, green is the most dominant risk type and the dominant sustainability challenge. And we have created for us a smaller picture to give an idea how we have organized the lectures. So we can see climate change and natural resources form the background for our living. But we have to manage different political, cultural systems. So we talk about long-term risk and long-term benefits, but unfortunately, humans are only looking at short-term gains and short-term risks. So it is also a cultural change we have to perform, and our students are enabled to transform also the sustainability and the risk culture to come to better and to more sustainable solutions. So what is our course outline? Many of my colleagues thought it is boring to write written exams, so we kicked them out. You have only one written exam. This is about legal foundations for sustainability and risk management, and the rest is only a paper and a presentation. And these papers and presentations help you to customize your study according to your professional needs, your professional goals, your career goals. So you can take out topics from your company of your special interest, and you can integrate them in the lectures and write seminar thesis papers on your special topics. I think this is an advantage to get the funding from the corporate where you are working, and to help improve your personal skills, as there are a variety of backgrounds who can study in this master course. And we have in the red section the risk management row of lectures, and then the sustainability lectures. And we have also, after the first semester, application workshops where we try to tackle real world problems and transform solutions which help to reduce risk, which help to improve sustainability or to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, or whatever is of interest coming from the students. This is the idea. So to be best prepared for the master thesis, it is a good job to have always the legal side on your side. And as the most important background, you may remember or already have read that the European Green Deal legislative train comprises 93 packages. 93 packages to transform the economy into a more sustainable greener world. And the best preparation for your master thesis is also as a preparation for a possible PhD degree, to write papers, to tackle the research question with adequate research methods, and then I think you have done a good job. So here are some student informations. The duration besides the job is 5 semesters. Language is English. You can start in each semester. We are very flexible to schedule the lectures in the evening classes depending on the wishes of our students. What I would like to show you now is what our students prefer to work in the first semester. So if you are interested, then you can have a look what is behind the window. So first of all, legal foundations. Here, a table of contents. What can you expect? What are we talking about? Introduction to sustainability and risk management. We learn from past crises, the shortcomings of our economic system, the need to communicate in a different way beyond the cultures. And then you will get, if you don't have a legal background, basic legal foundations from Tony at Law, Ferdinand Hirdes. And then I will focus also on supranational legal foundations for sustainability and risk management, the global helicopter view. Then we focus on Europe, and we will make a small dive into the German legal foundations, but we are also open in our lecture to have a look at all other countries. Quite remarkable, for example, is China, which started in 2013 already a green program from the central bank to fund green companies 2 years before we have the Paris Climate Agreement. So we are very open, and then you can see what is inside the risk box. We talk about risk, looking at the business model from a general point of view. Where are the vulnerabilities, and how can you analyze climate risk, climate and environmental risks, and what is here the risk of insolvency? We can see now an energy price shock, which is of course a huge problem for the cash situation of corporations, but also for the profit situation. And we focus also on different topics. For example, one is the case study of Bristol. Bristol, you can see here, has performed a flood simulation, and the flood simulation shows what is lying ahead of us. We are experiencing now a rising sea level, and how can a town, a city, prepare for these disasters? This is, of course, mathematics. This is extreme value statistics, but there are tools available. And the question is, how can we transform cities? This is also one case study to show you what we are doing in the risk section. And if you look at history back to 1929, then you can see here the volume of the losses in the stock markets. And we are currently heading towards the biggest crisis mankind has ever seen due to the global warming hothouse climate. So this was a funny game in inverted commas if we look at our challenges ahead. So sustainability and risk are real issues for all corporations, all institutions, all countries. We have a forecast here in Europe that Italy will have a probability of default by 100% by 2050 because they are tackled really hard by climate risk. So this is an issue, also part of our risk lecture, to show you that risk is not only boring, but it is widespread. And we also analyze, like the NASA uses this as a case study. The case of the Titanic, we focus on the typical characteristics of decisions by humans, disaster myopia, yes, fast and slow thinking. This is also a very interesting example, the more so as NASA uses this case study also. So what are student papers we have here? Student papers are, for example, the rising sea levels in the case of UK, or global warming in the agricultural sector in Africa. So this is for reading purposes for you, also the aviation industry, greenwashing, but also risk dashboards for banks or agricultural sector. So quite diverse. So these are the topics our students have worked out. Maybe interesting for you to see that it's really a quite open program. So this is online as we are currently doing it here. A snapshot what is inside the box. If you look, then you can see here our legal foundations lectures are recorded, and if our students have missed, then it's easy to work later. And there you can see me. I have tried to get the same outfit, so you may remember the guy MI, and here we have the chat function you all know in between, but we have started our online program far before COVID came, and now everybody is familiar. So I think a good opportunity to avoid greenhouse gas emissions by less traveling. So here are snapshots for the student materials. You can see there's support for academic writing, but also templates are available and selected readings as the introduction to the study program. And the course materials are included in the price. And we are very engaged to follow very closely the United Nations UN SDGs, as we are registered there. And we have 4 payments, 3,750 euros, total costs 15,000 euros, and this covers all. The registration process is easy. You normally would need 180 credit points, and if you have only 180 credit points, then the remaining 30 credit points have to be delivered until you have finished, or you will start your master thesis. But we are very open also to acknowledge things you have done in your job from projects, or we advise you to attend different courses. The normal entry level would be 210 credit points. English, of course, and then I would like to conclude also for the remaining time for questions. If you look for a job, best job opportunities now. So you see here, this is a query coming from January. So 1,300 open jobs. And if you look at English, these are better paid, I guess, in international value chains. So a lot of job opportunities are waiting for you if you are interested in these areas, and you can prepare these job opportunities in a very, very good way using the application workshops and bringing in your special topics in as seminar papers if you want. Well, so far so good. In order to keep the time schedule, now I'm happy to receive your questions. If there are any issues, please, you have seen in the chat that there is the contact link. Happy to see you later via email. But if you have questions, please feel free to answer now.
Thank you very much, Professor, for a super interesting presentation. And actually, I have received 3 questions from our students, and let me address them to you. So the first question was more about technical and admission question. So the student asks whether you have any local admission restrictions on your program.
No.
No. Okay.
Because this is an online master. Normally, we would say we need a special grade, 1.7 or anything like that. But currently, we don't have any entry levels or local hurdles for students.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. Also, there was a question about the background requirements, so the previous degree requirements. Are you strict in terms of the previous degree to be relevant, super relevant?
No, this is also the challenge for us in the first semester to bring all people together on a similar understanding of the topic. So if you are coming from the natural science, from engineering, from business, from law, the social sciences, all different backgrounds are admissible. Yes, they can start here.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. And for now, last but not least, you also have mentioned the importance of having 180 ECTS points.
Yes.
210, sorry, 210 you said. And this person actually asked, so I had 180 ECTS, so will it be a problem or can I make up for that?
Yes, you can start your application. And if there is a job experience, we have the opportunity to grant ECTS. Okay. And the remaining ECTS can be part of your interim education if you attend additional courses. So we have one student and have found a very good solution for him.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for clear answers. And so far, this is all that I've received. But if there are any more questions, we will send it also to your email. Thank you very much for this interesting presentation. And I would say now we can move forward. So yeah, usually we don't do like this, but it was a request from a professor to have a quick Q&A really quickly after his presentation because of the time limits. That's why now we will move forward to our next presenter, Ms. Lilu from Technische Universität of Berlin. And of course, you know where Berlin is located. No need to explain that. And she will talk about European and energy and international energy law. I'm stopping the screen sharing and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome and nice to meet you here. My name is Li. As one of the academic program managers, I would like to take this opportunity to briefly introduce our International and European Energy Law program. In this short session, I will efficiently guide you to the key facts of our MBL program with a quick overview of energy master programs at Europe campus and a focus on the detailed introduction to the modules and application process of our law program. My colleague, Ms. Sandra Lubahn, and I would gladly answer your questions once we complete the presentation. Germany, as a home to the largest energy sector in Europe, is considered a forerunner in renewable energy deployment. Our MBL program warmly welcomes students from all over the globe to Berlin, the great capital of Germany, where experts from academia and practice share the latest insights in the field of energy law. Our university and program prepare students for leading positions in energy industry, law firms, and regulatory authorities. Our MBL program is one of the 4 master courses initiated since 2014. This Master of Business Law program is taught over a period of 2 semesters. It is supported by other energy programs and benefits from their technical and entrepreneurial resources. TU Berlin has offered this master course on European and international law on the Europe campus in the center of Berlin. As one of the 4 energy master programs, the MBL Energy Law program offers our students the ability to connect not only with one another, but also with those from the other programs on the Europe campus to network and develop relationships with other students in the energy field. Situated within an innovative community of experts in the fields business and science, as well as a hub for future mobility and numerous research projects, the Europe campus provides an excellent location for students to learn and interact with experts and researchers on a daily basis. The Europe campus around the Goethe-Meter in Berlin, Schöneberg, offers unique and attractive local conditions. Students who are the future energy experts learn in a close cooperation with leading enterprises and institutions located on the Europe campus to become acquainted with practical projects in the field of energy. Turning our attention now to the MBL program team. The academic director of our program is Professor Dr. Franz Junger-Zacke, who is the editor and author of leading publications in the field of energy law. Most time, students will be supported and guided by me and my colleague, Dr. Wender, the other academic program manager. We both cater for the academic requests of the students. We also have Ms. Sandra Lubahn as our administrative manager, and Bostemi, who is responsible for IT issues. Let's now turn to our program's substantial contents. Our program indeed addresses energy engineers, jurists, and economists who want to gain in-depth special knowledge in the field of international and European energy law. Students will become acquainted with the technical and economic foundations of the energy markets, as well as with all legal topics relevant for the whole value chain in the energy sector. Among the many different fields of law, it is the energy law that has seen the most dynamic rise in the recent years. The change of energy policy, the priority for an extensive use of the renewable energies, the CO2 reductions, the security of supply, are some of the issues that have increased the importance of the sector rapidly. Further, energy law is a very challenging intersection between public and private, competition and regulatory law, and applies at national, European, and international level. On this background, the Master in European and International Energy Law offers an excellent understanding of all the relevant issues of the energy sector. The first semester of our program introduces the structure and methodology of European and international energy law, explores the fundamental principles of infrastructure, regulation, and the legal framework for electricity generation. The second semester deals with the legal framework of the construction and operation of electricity and gas grids in Europe, addresses energy wholesale trading, and looks closer at the final stage of the electricity and gas supply. Finally, a master's thesis due in the second semester concludes the program. Our students literally come from all over the globe, from EU member states and non-EU member states, developed and developing countries, which results in a great diversity. The intake of 2021 to 2022 is an example. Our current students join our program with an average work experience of 6 years and an average age of 30. They not only come from diverse academic backgrounds, such as law and engineering, but also come from all over the globe, covering 14 countries. The intake of 2019 to 2020, as another example, comprises 27 students from 18 countries, with Chile, Mexico, and Turkey as the top 3 countries of our students' nationalities. Most of the students come from an engineering, law, business, and commerce background. The variety of academic backgrounds is what really makes the MBL program special, and we hope to promote these interdisciplinary strengths throughout this year. Our lecturers also come from the international community, including but not limited to Germany, United States, Britain, China, Russia, Norway, Switzerland, Greece, Italy, etc., etc., etc. They are experts with a variety of backgrounds, such as lawyers, regulators, energy law academics, energy traders, policymakers, and much more, from universities, European and national authorities, international and national energy companies, major law firms, and courts. Although COVID-19 has made life difficult, it has enabled us to open our visual doors to new lecturers who were previously unable to participate. All semesters include lectures, tutorials, excursions, and multiple extracurricular activities. As you see here, MBL program provides students with various teaching and learning ways, covering in-class teaching and online platform. Besides lectures, tutorials of a general, more interactive nature, repeat lecture material, supply supportive information, offer additional training, and help prepare for lectures and exams. There is a written exam, a presentation, or module paper requirement after each module. We have a great number of partners. Many of them support our excursions and field research in different cities of Germany. A few examples are listed here. It is worth mentioning some of our graduates start or continue their remarkable careers in these companies and institutions after our program. Thanks to the gracious support of our partners, as I mentioned before, we could offer multiple excursions across Germany and Europe. Our students make full advantages of these excursions and gain lifelong inspirational experiences. Here, I just show some photos of our previous excursions. Graduation ceremonies is a big event for both our students and us MBL team. In the previous 2 years, we provide hybrid modes of graduation ceremonies for students and guests, so all could participate even though not in Berlin. About application requirements, please refer to the link I provide on this slide. It contains simple and clear directions. My colleague, Ms. Sandra Lubahn, who is responsible for administrative affairs, would be happy to answer your further inquiries. Thank you for your attention. Now please allow me to hand over the floor to my colleague, Ms. Lubahn.
Yeah, hello. Only a short notice. The application procedure started in February this year and will end very soon at the end of April. So we have only 30 university places. That's why we need your application. We have a selection committee who check, and the members will check your professional experience, the academic background. It's very important. What you have done in the last years in your career. So, and yeah, our program is an English language program. That's why we also check your English years, and we need to know why you want to study our program. We know Berlin is a very important or very interesting city, but yeah, we are one of 4 universities in the main capital of Germany, and we want to know why you want to study our program at the Technical University. So, and if you have any letter of recommendation by your former professors, but also by your current employer, then you are very welcome to upload this also in our new application portal. Yeah, you have only 2 weeks to apply, so you are very welcome to apply now. And the application deadline is the end of April, and we need time to check everything so that we can send out the admission letter at the end of May. We want to hurry up to do that in the middle of May, but it depends on how many applications we will receive. And yeah, then you have time to apply for the visa and to come to our program at the Technical University in October. So, and now I can hand over to MyGermanUniversity.
Great, thank you very much to both of you. And I would also invite everyone to turn on their cameras, and let's open a brief Q&A session. And actually, let me start with TU Berlin, because there's one really specific question which is only to you. So the person asks, I'm not sure if bachelor degree suffices a 240 ECTS. It was 8-semester, 4-year program with 2 distinctive degrees. Does my bachelor degree satisfy the admission requirement? If in case it does not reach these 240 ECTS points, is there a way to catch up?
Yeah, so the study program, which is a full-time program and normally 4 years, it's equal to 240 ECTS credits. So that is normally not a problem in a legal education way. Sometimes we have bachelor degrees from the economics or from engineers with a normal duration of only 3 years. Then these candidates often have additional courses, or during their professional experiences, they have additional trainees or certificates about other skills, and they can upload these certificates in addition, and it's normally not an issue to fulfill these requirements.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Good to know. I'll prioritize some questions in the chat, but before I do that, there was a question also before, specifically for Saarland University, Europa Institute. So the question was regarding the summer school, a really technical question. The person asked, what is the deadline for applying for this summer school? Because I think it was not mentioned explicitly.
I will send the link into the group chat as well, because there it stands, but sometimes it changes. Give me a second. So the deadline officially is the 1st May 2022. Okay,
thank you. Good to know.
And more.
Also, before there was a question, not only for the professor from Ostfalia, but also to all the programs regarding the background requirements. So how strict you are on your side in terms of the previous degree background? Do you need to be it consecutive, or you are more flexible in this regard? Let's start with now Europa Institute.
Sorry about being absent a little bit before there. So we accept applicants with a background in law, that is a bachelor's degree in law or a master's degree in law already, and a degree in related fields of study. So that can be social sciences, languages, etc. It really depends on the complete application, your motivational letter, what sort of experience you have. Essentially, it's not just about if you're a good fit for us, but also if we're a good fit for you. So we look at everything and see how you think you will manage in the program and what benefit you will have from it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now to TU Berlin.
Yeah, so of course we have mainly lawyers in our program, but we have as well some engineers and economics in our program. It really depends on your motivation, and there you should explain what you want to do in your professional career. So why you need our program to take the next step in your career. We already have some really good engineers in our programs. They graduate and they moved on to big energy companies like E.ON or RWE. And yeah, that's we also have some startups. It's a startup created by some MBA graduates in addition to some law graduates of our program. So it really depends on your motivation and your direction of your career.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Sandra. Then there's a question also I will pick from the chat. So there are two questions actually, but related to the same topic. So Fernanda says that she took the TOEFL test, but she has only score on the web page. She asks, is it only possible to certify my language skills by paying for the extra digital report to send directly to universities, or is it possible with a screenshot of the official web page? And the second question is there a minimum score required by each section of TOEFL, not the general one? Let's start now with TU Berlin.
Yeah, we also accept the screenshot of your website.
Good.
So the main point is that we can read your name and find out that there's no manipulation on that screenshot.
Yeah. Good. And whether there is a minimum score which is required by each section of TOEFL?
Yeah, the problem is that we prefer a minimum that you have the level of B2, but we prefer that you have the level of P1, right? But if you have B2, then of course we offer an English environment here so that you easily improve your language skills. That's why B2 is also good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And Europa Institute?
So for the first question, or the first part of the question, our answer is the same as TU Berlin. And additionally, if you have done, or you can prove that you've done English in your undergrad, so for instance, an Erasmus semester or a course in English, that will also be accepted as sufficient level. Second part of the question, we don't require a specific score in each section, but we're also there on the line of TU Berlin. And here again, the point is that you have to be able to study in academic English to write examinations and academic papers. So of course, B2 is also sufficient, but then there is an expectation of you sort of catching up on your own. But we will look at the whole application and see whether we think you'll manage with the English level that you have going from B2 and upwards.
Okay, great to know. And let me also quickly ask you, Ingrid, about one question that came up. So the person asks, don't have TOEFL, but I've done OLS English assessment with C1. Do you have any information whether this particular test is accepted by your program?
That is something I would have to double check with the admissions committee. What I would suggest is to either send an application with that in, and then they would maybe ask for some follow-up documentation, other proof, etc., or to send an email to application@hochschule.de, and then we can answer you directly, or you will get in touch with the representative directly.
Thank you very much. Another question actually that was both of the programs answered to one person, but I would like to also to voice up for everyone else because it is quite interesting. So about the fees and whether they can be paid in installments, whether there is an opportunity that you offer to students. Maybe let's start with TU Berlin once again.
Yeah. Okay. We offer two payment shuttles to select by the applicant. With the admission letter, you select if you want to pay in 2 installments or in 4 installments. And yeah, often applicants ask if they can pay the amount in one sum. That is also fine for us. But yeah, for people who have a sponsorship, then of course we need information about that. Then we can easily switch our invoice to the employer, to the institution or other authorities. And yeah, in case of a hard financial situation, then we find an individual payment scheme, but we prefer to select one of the normal payment scheme of 2 or 4 installments.
Thank you very much. And
so we, I don't know, we did mention this in the presentation. I don't know if Jenny was touching upon it earlier, but our fees are about 5,600 euros per year. And we, as a starting point, do 2 installments in any case. So you pay sort of as was outlined by TU Berlin here, 1 for each semester. And there is also possible to do further installments. I think then it's 3 per semester. That has to be agreed with the Europa Institute prior to payment or the payment deadline of each semester. And this also has to be then approved again by the university. So I'm not saying that to discourage people that are a bit afraid of the tuition fees to apply. I'm just saying it's not the starting point, but of course also as TU Berlin, we are going to try to find solutions for those of you that find it difficult. As Jenny posted in the chat, we do not offer scholarships, but we have a link to different agencies offering scholarships, such as the DAAD on our webpage. Additionally, the reason why we start our application process so early is to also encourage students to look for scholarship opportunities through their home country, through organizations, companies in their home country, which is what we've had before.
Yes, thank you very much. I've just also shared the links for the scholarships article that we have. Also, the students can find lots of scholarship opportunities in Germany, the most popular ones. So I would suggest them also to take a look. And last but not least, there's also interesting question, not really specific, certain extent also, of course, related to the program. So is there any platform where I can connect with alumni of this or that program? So to share, to exchange the experiences. Let's now start with Europa Institute and then to TU Berlin.
The best way to connect with our alumni is to use our webpage, definitely. There you can read some alumni story, hear some alumni share their experiences through videos, etc. Also on Instagram. I'm also an alumni of the program, so I can definitely recommend coming to our information sessions. As I said, we hold them about once a month, online, of course. And then you can speak to me and my colleague who's also an alumni, a little bit older than me. So we have some different time perspectives on the program. That is the easiest and quickest way. If you want to get in touch with other alumni, that's a bit harder. That warrants a membership in our alumni association.
Okay, thank you very much for already sharing experiences. So with our students, so it was really nice. And Sandra?
Yeah, so we have a yearly alumni conference, and this year we have a academic congress in advance. So in September on the 23rd, we have the academic congress with students, alumni, and further interest on it. And on the 24th, we have the alumni conference to offer a smaller conference, but for all alumni. Then we have a LinkedIn group, an open group for all prospective students, for students and alumni, and a closed group only for the alumni. And yeah, we start with that network, the alumni network, 3 years, I think, and we work hard to improve to develop that community.
Yeah, this is really valuable information. Sandra, thank you very much, Sandra, for that. And let me quickly also myself address 2 questions that are, I will myself address this. So is it mandatory to pay into German block account for international student who has studied in Lithuania and also live and work Lithuania? So as long as you are a citizen of non-EU country, so you will need visa and you will need a blocked account. So I don't know exactly about your situation, but in most cases you will need something like a blocked account or a letter of guarantee or a scholarship, full scholarship, so that's to prove your financial sustainability in Germany. So this is quick answer to that, and also quick answer to Ebenezer. I think our speakers already addressed the question issues of English language. So like just the general answer from my side as well. So as international students, as long as you are not a native speaker, you will need to prove your language proficiency in this or that way. And usually IELTS is one of the way that I would say in 99% of cases serves as a nice proof together with TOEFL. So if you want to take IELTS, do that, it will always work. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much. Then I would say to everyone, to our guests, to our attendees for their questions and for being with us. If you have more questions to the programs being presented today, more specific questions, you can always get in touch with them. Contact information has been shared. And if you have any more general questions about studying in Germany, we're also happy to answer them. And you can send us on this email that you can see, info@mygermanuniversity.com. And also, it would be nice to hear some feedback from you. You can send us your feedback, share with us on Facebook or Google, and any concerns, any comments about today's webinar, and we will act accordingly, take into account all of your concerns and suggestions. And the direct links are already in the chat. So yeah, once again, thank you very much to all of you. I enjoyed the webinar. Thank you for all sharing this interesting information for the students, and hope to see you on our future webinars as well. And as our speakers several times already said, have a good morning, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are joining us from. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, Georgia.